Wakey, wakey, hands off Snakey. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, and while I'm waiting for my engine case cover protectors to come from the Amazons, I am going to install a higher flow washable air filter. We're also going to remove an intake restrictor on the front. Now, I've been watching some videos of guys doing some dyno work, and it doesn't actually seem to require any kind of fueling. In fact, for some reason, it got a little bit richer up top. Don't know why, but it also picked up like 1 to 2 horsepower. So within the margin of error, but at least it didn't lose any power. Poppy, be quiet. You had your chance to come out, but you're being too scared of the garage. So, hey, Pop. Baby girl. Who's that? It's okay, just me. And there's Gemma. What is it? There's nobody out there. There's nobody here, just me. I tried to get her to come out in the garage and hang out with me like Max used to. Because Max would be like part of the action and wanted to be like right where all the stuff was happening. No, the garage door's open now. You can't come out now because you'll just run out the door. If I thought you'd come out and hang out with me, I would, I could close the garage door. What do you want to do, You're so indecisive, just like a woman. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. You beautiful dog. All right, you just stay in the house, dude. All right. So, what do we got to do? Well, we got to get the tank up. I think I can do it without removing the tank. But there's all this stuff connected to it. So the first thing you got to do is down right there. I've already popped them out. There's 2 little push pin plastic thingamabobbers. Looks like a this. So those come out, and then this should pop forward and off, I guess. I got part of it off. I feel like I need to use both hands so I don't break something. Anyway, I'm going to pop that off. Set it somewhere you won't step on it. Now there's a couple screws up top, so let's see what we're doing here. I got to get these gray panels to separate this, because I think this piece is what bridges the intake, which these are actual intakes. Those are now legit ram air intakes. So we're going to need to take off these screws on both sides. Again, this is more of a pain in the ass with one hand. That's where I need a little helper monkey to help with the camera work. Riley's not here, but I guess there's other kids in the neighborhood, but I think if I go to the parents and say, hey, can I borrow your little girl? I'm trying to make a video in my garage. It's just going to come across weird. So, all right, so is that enough to separate this from that? Nah, of course not. So we may have to take off this cover. Drop a screw. You got to do that at least 2 times. At least it drops on the floor rather than down into the engine bay somewhere, never to be found again. So 1 screw, 2 screw, 3 screw. Feeling if there's any push pins in here somewhere. Feel like this almost wants to come off, but it's still sort of attached to that. So we popped off that. I don't feel any push pins. Nothing around there. one pin popped out. Look at this anchor. I think it's anchored somewhere. It almost wants to come off, but not quite. Of course, there's no good tutorials online to show how to do this, which is why I'm trying to help people by doing it. Does that panel pop off? So that pops out there. There's definitely a tab right there. So this has to slide forward. But I don't know how. So I have to edit a bunch of this out as I sit here cursing at this piece of shit. Oh, hold on. Maybe. Is that enough to... God damn it. I can never make anything fucking simple. Screw up under there, so this cover's got to come off. The problem is I don't know how to get it off. I don't feel anything else. But there is a screw right there, maybe. Of course it fell on the ground and scratched. God damn it. I was fucking something. Yeah, there's two screws right there. I don't know how this came off other than just popping it. I don't think I broke any of the tabs. Alright, we'll put that somewhere where you won't scratch it more. Son of a bitch. There's two screws right here, which are absolutely going to want to fall down in there. That screw. Alright, now I'm hoping that is the last piece to get this stupid thing off. You know, I don't understand why. I'm afraid I'm going to break this tab off. But until you get it off, you can't see how or where it is attached. Sometimes this shit's enraging. The way they make it so goddamn complicated, you have to be an engineer. It's like getting to the airbox is something you have to do from time to time. And it's like they intentionally make it difficult. So there's this clip right here. And it looks like it's a metal tab of some sort. It's like the amount of pressure I'm having to put on this, I feel like I'm going to break something. But there's clearly, well, maybe I can just bring it up. Maybe it'll just come up with the tank. It's only mounted to the tank at this point. And then perhaps that's okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an extension. And unhook the tank. There's a bolt up here on the top. It's a 10 millimeter. So I'm going to pull that up. And so maybe this will just have to come up with the tank and not fully remove it. Try to carefully remove this without dropping it down in there. All right, let's go to the other side and see if we can nudge that off. All right, we got one screw out, two, take out the top. I gotta try to wrestle this stupid thing off. Of course, I have no idea if this is even going to go back on right. But I guess I'm already committed at this point. It's like you just kind of force it. I don't know how else to describe this. But I was trying to get this. Oh, there we go. No tabs broken. No? Alright. And then had to remove two more Phillips screws on the other side, this one and that one, and then I'm hoping the whole tank is going to lift. If it does, then that may be the trickiest part, is getting those stupid duct vents off covers for the vents. Alright. At this point, I feel like all right, these just fell on the floor. Now, are we lucky enough that this will just lift up? I've got that bolt removed. This doesn't appear to be attached to anything. No, that screw I removed was for the air box itself. All right, we're gonna put that back in. Apparently, fuck, you know what? This is like the stupid R1. The screws I need to get to are under here to lift the tank. That's exactly what's going on here. Damn it. Now I gotta figure out how to get that off without breaking the tabs. Alright. So now we're back to where we started. Under here, there's a screw. It's one of these screws under here. So I do have to get this stupid thing off. And I don't know how. I feel like if I force it any harder, something's going to snap off. I'm at a goddamn loss here. So maybe I can get these nuts here from the side. I mean, I can get my hand on it. So is that an 8 or a 10? That's an 8. There's a bolt under here, and there's I can't show you because I can't get to it with the camera. Should be fairly obvious. All right, we'll go to the other side. Yeah, that's it. So apparently you can reach up. You got a ratchet and box wrench. It's 10 millimeter. There's a break the tension and then get your hand up in there and work it out with your finger. And just drop the freaking bolt into the engine. And you know what happened? That's exactly what happened last time when I did the R1. Lost a bolt somewhere up in the engine. So I'm gonna go find a goddamn flashlight and a magnet. And let's see, do I even have a magnet? Well, yes. Son of a bitch. Every time I'm working on a goddamn bike. Well, looks like I'm going to have to let that bolt go and find a replacement for it, because your guess is as good as mine where that stupid thing rolled. See, did I even remove the right bolt? Watch, that'll be the wrong bolt that I just lost. Yep. So that looks like what I actually used was a nut. That's why I dropped it. I was expecting a bolt. It'll be a little easier to replace at least. All right. Let's see. Will it lift up? Yeah. These are going to come off too. Okay, so what I have to do now is this only lets it lift so far. So I'm going to take this bolt out. They really do make this more complicated than it needs to be. Alright, so that should lift up a little farther. And what I need to do is find something to brace that. I normally use my rubber hammer, but I have no idea where that made itself scarce to. Oh, here we go. So, let's see if we can do this. So we lift this up. And try to prop that up in a manner that will stay put and not fall on you while you're working on this. So let's see. This is gonna be a little tricky. So what we got to do now is get in with a Phillips. And the problem is there's 18 screws. I mean, I don't know if it's 18, but it's going to be like 10 screws. Hey, there's my nut that I dropped. All right. So what do we have to do? We need to take off all of these Phillips screws to get that airbox lid off. I don't know if these are captive. No, they are not. Sometimes they're captive, and that's awesome, because then that's one less screw to worry about dropping down into there. So let's get as many of these as we can. The ones in the back are going to be a pain in the ass to reach. That's why I wish. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is ready to fall. I was hoping once I got this off, I would be able to see how the stupid side panels are clipped on, but I still don't see. They're just held on up in there now. This is asking for trouble. From this far, it's like I have to go, but this thing could easily fall over. So maybe we just take the goddamn tank off. So I've got 2 breathe hoses here. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do it. Rather than trying to prop this up. God, everything has to be so much more complicated than it needs to be. I'm going to try to remove these 2 freaking hoses. When you remove them, take note of which one goes to which side. This one has a red stripe on it, the one that's closest to this side, and it connects closest to this side. Like one's an air vent and one's an overflow. Now technically they both probably go to the bottom, or one might go to the evap canister, so you don't want to get them backwards. Both of those hoses are off. Now we need to get to the bottom, get to the fuel line. Is it? Hey, why is this? This is why I don't actually like doing a lot of these kinds of videos. Because if you haven't had this bike before, you don't know where the screws are, what steps, what order. So I'm having to figure this shit out as I go. And you don't have a lot of freaking room to work with anymore. So, all right, we got that plug off for the fuel pump. Now I need to go to the other side. Quick disconnect, but even that, you got to figure out how this one works. This is where you almost need someone to help you, because no matter what you do, your tool's going to be in the wrong place. You're not going to be able to get to what you need. think. I think that's how that comes off. The ominous thunder. Alright, let's take your tank off. Now when you put it down, make sure that the back is supported by something so that you're not resting. Yeah, this is such a bitch to do by yourself if you don't have the steps, because now I have this thing in my hand. I have to put it down, but I need something to put it down on, and I don't have an extra set of hands. I don't know why I do these videos sometimes. They just cause me more frustration than anything. Normally there's rolls of tape here, but... Alright, I'm going to lay this down very carefully. Alright, well, the hard part's over. So now, what we got to do is cut the tank off. Here's your vent lines. There's the one with the red stripe. That one's going to go, they're going to hook up to it just like this. Here's your fuel pump. Here's your fuel line. So now we're going to take out all these screws all the way around. So put the camera back over here. We're going to do that. I don't think that these vents are connected to anything other than the... Well, you know what? Now they got this thing off. Let's see. Do I have a long bit? Magnet. Of course those are mounted to that. The amount of screws to get this shit off. You know, an air filter is something you gotta clean like once a year, and it's gonna be like an hour-long freaking project. Every goddamn time. And the way this is put together, you're risking breaking your plastics every time. So, all right, there are 2 more screws. You need a Phillips head to get to them. Get them out. And they are Let's see, where'd I put my Phillips? Alright, we'll go get another one. Here it is. So, there's a screw. How is this connected? It's definitely attached somewhere. All right, that one's just pressed in, so that's good. Is the other side pressed in? No, this one's screwed in, so one side has a screw. And the other side is a push grommet kind of thing. What else is there? Ah, there's a sensor. There's a short wire. There's a sensor on the other side. Crikey. Now, can I get the goddamn airlight box on? Okay. Lid is off. Let's go in here and show you what we've got. We has air filter that pops right out. And already I can tell there is a problem. It's the wrong air filter. That is the wrong air filter. I believe that air filter was good up to 2022, so I guess 2023 they changed the air box. The old ones had a flat filter that went like that. So all this was for nothing. I have to go get a different filter. Huh. Okay, that is unfortunate. All this work and risking breaking things for literally nothing. Motherfucker. Yeah, the old one would have slid in and clicked in. Yep. Why would it work? It's not like anything else this week has worked out my way. Alright, well, step one to all this is make sure that they didn't change the fucking filter from one year to the next. I looked and that was the part number for 2022, and 2022 was the redesign for this. This being a 23 model shouldn't make a difference. It should be the same damn thing. So we've done all this for literally nothing. All we've learned is how to take the damn thing off. So I guess, I'll post this because if you have the right filter, you'd pop this out and you'd pop the new one in and put it back together. I mean, it's clean. It's got a little bug in there. We'll knock the bug out, but yeah, there is no way that that is the right filter. There's some pretty good rain coming down. Yeah, I don't think we're riding today. Yeah, and I don't know what this thing is. Is that also an air intake? Let's see, let's just... Does that pull out? I don't know what that is. On other years, that was the actual intake, and then you had the ram air ducts coming into the side. Well, this is a very frustrating process for nothing. So, like I said before on one of my other videos, it's like I don't just post the good things and the cool things. Sometimes these either the mod doesn't work out or we run into problems, and I'm gonna post it anyway. you can use this tutorial to figure out how to get the damn airbox and the tank off and all that shit, and then you're just going to have to make sure that you actually have the right filter. I did look up that part number, but apparently I need a filter that looks like that. Now, in years past, they didn't come in that shape. They were still flat. And the K&N comes in that tall kind of tower pyramid looking thing. But instead of this thing mounting here, these corners would have been cut along that, and it would have been like a trapezoid or something, and it would have fit down in there. And then that would have gone in, because it's that same trapezoid, it would have just fit over, and then because instead of breathing through just this piece here, it's breathing all around, that's where it lets in more air. Apparently for 2023, they changed that, and now I gotta put it all back together, and now I have to go find the right filter, and or leave it apart until I can get my hands on the right filter. So maybe I'll go in and look on Amazon and see if I can get the right one. In any case, folks, well, that's how you get it apart. If nothing else, you learn that much. And you learn a valuable lesson to double check the goddamn part numbers. So that is an unfortunate episode of Dave's Garage. So yeah, so I went in and looked up the part numbers, and K&N doesn't make one for this new bike, and DNA does, but they want like $150 for the friggin' filter. So I'm just gonna put the shit back together and hope I don't break anything in the process. See if I gotta remember to put that nut back on before I put the tank back on. And hey, there's Poppy. You want to come out and be? Look how skittish she is. She's so afraid. You don't have to be like that. It's okay. You're all right, baby girl. What's up? It's just another room in the house. I know you haven't been out here much. Poppy doesn't like change. Look at the shadow. she spooked at the shadow moving. Your hind legs are shaking. Baby, it's okay. It's all right, girl. You're a sweeter dog, but you're not quite the shop dog that Max was. So now I got to put all this shit back together. I cannot believe I'm having to do this. This is so lame. Hoping that what I got to do later, the frame case protection. I'm hoping that shit goes a little better than this. This was really a pain in the dick, and it's not like, all right, well, we did it. The mod was good. The video was successful. It's like you get done and you're like, I did all of that literally for nothing. Now I gotta get everything lined up. Ugh. Such a just pointless. Come on, Yamaha. All right, let's see. This goes there. Fuck me. Yeah, this is not user friendly. Alright, so that's what we're doing. Putting this all back together. And also, screw you, Yamaha, for using these. Sometimes these aren't really Phillips. They're some sort of Imperial. Or it's like, it looks like a Phillips, but it's like the splines are slightly misspaced or something. It's like, why would you use those? Nobody else in the world uses those. Either use a Torx, use a hex, use a Phillips screwdriver. Like, there's no reason to use whatever dumb thing they use. And they only use it on like 4 bolts on every bike. It's like they all may look like they're using whatever, but they're not. It's like 4 bolts. There'll be something up here on the twist grip, and they'll use those for no reason. I think they're still pissed about the way World War II ended. That might be it. They're like, yeah, we're their friends, we're their allies, but you know what? Every time they work on one of our bikes, they're gonna feel that frustration. Damn. Doing all right, puppy? Okay, so we put that in. Put in this bolt. That's tight. It's tight, yo. Move your butt, puppy. And now, whoop, Jesus, pop. I know, you're okay. All right, well, I'm gonna spend the next hour cursing putting this thing back together, so we'll talk to y'all later.